Good morning, y'all. I am back again for another video. And this video is going to be about the Urban Dictionary Narcissist. And I will use real life examples because I'm not an extremist. Because just because you use slang does not mean you're the Urban Dictionary Narcissist. So I will get into complete detail about what I mean by someone being the Urban Dictionary Narcissist. Urban Dictionary Narcissist. Now, this narcissist can kind of like slide by you, may go under the radar, but I will explain to you what I've seen and heard so that you will completely understand. So here I go. So the Urban Dictionary Narcissist. Okay, the Urban Dictionary, if you're not already aware, and the reason I'm going to explain it is because I did not know years ago that there was an Urban Dictionary. I just didn't. I had no clue. So it's not like I've known about the Urban Dictionary for 20 years. Okay. I would say I came across it over the last few years, to be honest. I did not know it existed. So, first of all, I'm from the Midwest. So I was born and raised originally in St. Louis, Missouri, before I came to the West Coast. So, okay, there's probably in my language, I'm quite sure there's little ebonics. I have my own accent, dialect, whatever you want to call it. It's there. So I get it. I mean, when you come from different cultures, we all have our own culture. We have our ways of saying things, and it just is what it is. So language is a big issue. Okay. So empathic people versus narcissistic people or full blown narcissists. This will be one of the differences between you and the narcissist if you're empathic. First of all, I can make up some words on my own. If you listen to my videos enough, I'm quite sure it's something I've used that's just unique to me that you may not hear a lot. All YouTubers, y'all, have their own language and the way they say things. Sometimes it's something that can be found on the Urban Dictionary. As empathic people, we try to improve language. So, for example, the N word, whether you want to say it nigger or nigga, whatever has been said, first of all, that's not a word of affection. And that word causes so many problems, whether men and women realize it or not, calling themselves a nigga, calling other people a nigga. I was just watching a video on one of the shows for singles, and there was a woman on there, and she was wondering why she attracts prisoners. And she said the N word several times. She was like, I don't know why I attract these niggas. They from prison. This is her own words now, right? And I'm listening to this like, well, and she was a beautiful woman. She was actually from St. Louis and still living in St. Louis, Missouri. I think she said she stayed in like Ferguson, Missouri. And I wouldn't say she's not intelligent. I just think that that's a word that would benefit her to take it out of her vocabulary. Because like she said, she don't know why she attracting these niggas, and these are the niggas that she attracts. This is what she said. Now, I found through another YouTuber that the word ninja can be more appropriate. It's not connected to racism. It wasn't the original word that was used in slavery. So, with this being said, I'm going to say this. This particular woman from Ferguson, Missouri, I think is where she said she lived, U City or Ferguson, Missouri, one of them. I would not consider her the Urban Dictionary narcissist. So, tune in now, don't get lost. So, she's using one word that's a old word. It's not nothing new. It's a very bad word. The N word is a bad word, but it's not new. Okay? So we don't need to go to the Urban Dictionary to look up what nigga or nigger mean. We usually, most people that live in America, in the United States, even in foreign countries by now, know what the word nigga mean. Okay? So this is a widespread word. It existed before the Urban Dictionary. So she would not be an example of the Urban Dictionary narcissist. And the reason I'm saying this is the Urban Dictionary narcissist, y'all, is something I made up. This ain't nothing I went to go find on the Urban Dictionary on YouTube. I just thought of this idea because remember, y'all, sometimes in order to do these videos, I have to kind of like be in tune or kind of observe certain narcissists that I've known throughout the years. And so this Urban Dictionary narcissist, this particular narcissist, I didn't even know was that type of person. So what they will do a lot of times, they're not really someone, the Urban Dictionary narcissist is not necessarily somebody that's a dummy. It's just that they're not striving to really better their language or being intelligent. Someone that's striving to better themselves, they come up with words from Webster's, the real dictionary, not the Urban Dictionary. And y'all know, I mean, every blue moon I cuss or I say something. Like I said, I'm from the Midwest originally. That's where I was born and raised. I don't consider myself no punk, nerd, geek, or none of that. However, I'm not the Urban Dictionary narcissist. So, the Urban Dictionary narcissist, okay, say they vanish for a while, you come across them at some point, they're changing the words. So, the Urban Dictionary narcissist, when they use certain terms, you got to look it up. So, many years ago, that's when I realized that that was kind of an Urban Dictionary narcissist, even before I understood to talk about this in this video. So I'm going to go to the Urban Dictionary right now. And I'm going to try to, I didn't really plan no real examples for this video, y'all. Um, However, I did kind of think of that first one that I just went over. So it wasn't completely planned, but I did kind of have that idea. So, like I said, that sister that was on that dating show that kept using the N word, that's not an example of the Urban Dictionary narcissist. And the reason I can't use her as an example, she just repeatedly used one bad word over and over, a word that existed way before the Urban Dictionary came out, a word that most people or a lot of people in different regions and countries know what that means. If you went way over to Europe and somebody used the word nigger or nigga, they would know what that means. If you go to China, China even has another demonic word that they use for nigga or nigger. It's very demonic. I don't remember what it was, but and I'm not saying Chinese people are demonic. I'm talking about the word, and the people that are using the word are just doing a bad thing. So the Urban Dictionary, let me go on here. And the reason the Urban Dictionary narcissist is the narcissist is because remember, they have to copy, right? So I remember, okay, several years ago when everybody was saying that part, that part, that part. Now, for me, if I hear too many people saying it, I don't really see nothing to be saying. Like, I just don't see why I need to be saying something that just everybody's saying repeatedly. I mean, it's just it's redundant to be doing that. So I did a video a year or two ago. I never did upload it, but I forgot the term that the narcissist used. I had ran into the narcissist, and he used this word. It kind of means like trailer trash. And I had to go to the Urban Dictionary to understand what he even called this woman. And this was a woman he was getting some to go food with. He hurried up and got her out of the way. I'm trying to see if I could find the word. Yeah, but basically, when I looked up the word, whatever he called her, it means trailer trash. And he's the Urban Dictionary narcissist. Whatever word he called this lady, I had to look it up. So the same particular narcissist came across my path somewhere through like a text message. And so he used another term that I had not heard him use, or had never heard him use before. So, okay, this is the thing that makes people, or some people, the Urban Dictionary narcissist. When they're repeatedly, remember, narcissism is a pattern of behaviors. So when you hear them using a language, first of all, if you are the one looking up the language that they're using, you are not the Urban Dictionary narcissist. So, for example, I gotta go look up what the hell this man is saying in this text, or saying to me, almost like he's speaking a foreign language, almost like I'm speaking to somebody that speaks a different language, and they spelled it for me and I looked it up, or somebody spelled it for me and I looked it up to see what they mean in their language. So that's what you will find you will be doing with the Urban Dictionary narcissist. So the Urban Dictionary narcissist, at first, when it first came out, it was connected to maybe a lot of Ebonics language, which that's a language, they've considered that a language that I may use unintentionally at times because of the area in the city, St. Louis, Missouri, that I was born and raised in. So, like, okay, you might hear me say, I'm going to go to the store. Okay. And I just ain't getting ready to stop saying that. I'm going to be saying that forever. I'm going to do a video. I'm a, I'm going to be on this bike. You call it what you want to, but Amma is just I am. I don't even know if technically, let me look it up on the dictionary and see what Amma says. IMMA. I guess is that how you would spell it? Okay, Amma is used in place of I am going. And it technically should be spelled I apostrophe MMA. But since this is a shortened version, we leave out the apostrophe, is what it says. Okay, so I guess, okay, if you technically add the formal spelling, like it said, I apostrophe MMA, so I am. Amma is basically I am. However, it's still qualified to go on the Urban Dictionary because Amma was pointed out as part of the language of Ebonics. And I don't really view that as a insult. I mean, let's look up what Ebonics says. Okay, I'm just going to the internet. So, okay, it's another name for African American vernacular English. Okay, so A. Okay, fine. It's a Ebonics. It's a noun functioning as singular. Another name. Oh, wait a minute. Before it says that, it says U.S. Another name for African American. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Vernacular English. So yeah. So I remember years ago when I saw the Ebonics documentary or whatever. It basically goes over the fact that that's like part of African American culture, or what, like in the United States, if you black or whatever. So okay, fine, that's what I'm under. So ama, if you go to the Urban Dictionary, you'll see ama. However, the Urban Dictionary narcissist, it's an extreme. And what I would like you to do is begin to label narcissists. If you label them, you can kind of protect yourself from them, because a lot of times, y'all, and this ain't a poor or rich thing. When I say class, I don't mean money. Sometimes you hanging around people that's not trying to do better. I'm not no filthy rich woman in money. However, I still am capable of speaking good enough where a lot of the words you will hear me use, you can go to the real dictionary and find it. Webster's, the Urban Dictionary, it's a way you can find out what the slang means, but it's not Webster's, y'all. It's not a formal dictionary. Ain't nobody graduated from college on the Urban Dictionary. So, one of the patterns you will use is they're usually narcissists, male or female. They don't have to just be male. And they're normally changing their language. Okay, like with me, it's some words I'm still using that you could find in the Webster's Dictionary that may be my own type of slang or the way I word stuff that I've been using since I've been 4. But with the Urban Dictionary narcissist, it's a constant change. So, okay, you run into them at the grocery store and they consistently like that part, that part, that part, that part. And then a couple years later, you talk to them on the phone, maybe get a text, maybe you run into them at the same grocery store, and now they're I spot you. I spot you. Whatever. That was another terminology I found on the Urban Dictionary. So, and then you see them out with some woman that they're embarrassed of, that they're running out to hide because they think she smells or something, and they use this other term on the Urban Dictionary referring to the lady as trailer trash. So you're repeatedly, now since you know about the Urban Dictionary, you're repeatedly looking up what they're saying, and you're not able to go to the Webster's or real traditional dictionary to find out what the hell they saying. You got to go to the Urban Dictionary. So after the third time you done had to look up a word that he or she's saying, that's the Urban Dictionary narcissist. Now, why is that a big deal? Well, for one, it's a big deal because of this. It means you're not compatible. It's also a sign of low intelligence. They're not using any word usually that can be found in, like I said, Webster's or the Oxford Dictionary. I mean, just think of any major big dictionary. What's your major dictionaries? I don't know. Whatever you can find. They even got dictionary.com. Let me try to think of another one. Cambridge or Cambridge Dictionary. Just all the main ones. Webster or Merriam Webster, whatever. Just Collins. I'm just trying to think of some of the big dictionaries that you would find. And a lot of these urban dictionary words you just won't find on the regular traditional dictionaries that I just named. And that's because they ain't words, y'all. So you got to look at these narcissists like, okay, he's not speaking my language. He's not speaking real words. She's not speaking my language. She's not speaking real words. It also can indicate a sign that they don't have basic goals. Somebody that's constantly going to the freaking Urban Dictionary, or somebody that you got to keep looking up what the hell they saying on the Urban Dictionary. This may not even be a person that has a basic goal in mind. Basic as, I think I should be responsible and provide a place to live. I think that I should do that in my life. And it's a sign that they're a narcissist. They're constantly copying stuff. It's a difference between learning healthy behaviors and embracing good behaviors and good language, embracing good people because you're empathetic, and literally copying. So the narcissist, that's the Urban Dictionary narcissist, is copying. This is another thing I want to share with you. Okay, a lot of narcissists, male or female, they're going to play like they're using fancy words. That's only because they hanging around you or me. Now, once you get them out of your life, and what I mean by getting them out of your life is not, okay, sometimes they text you, you see them at the grocery store. They out of your life when they out of your house, y'all. You stop sleeping with them, they're not in your house, you're not hanging out with them. So that narcissist is out of your life. Okay? They're not a relative or anything like that. They're out of your life. They're not a close friend. They're not someone that's adopted in the family. You ain't married to them no more, whatever. So they're just out of your life because they were once in your life when you had them in the house, if that was the case, and now they're not there no more, and it's been many, many years. So, and this is a little different from the brother or sister, no matter what they race, or sometimes they, come up with a new word that you may find in the Urban Dictionary. The Urban Dictionary narcissist has a repetitive behavior where it's almost like you're looking up words that they say, whether they texting it or saying it to you or to others, and you're constantly going to the Urban Dictionary to look it up. So it's a sign that they're copying. You're definitely with someone that's not really having any serious goals. Sometimes they don't even have basic goals. Like one of their goals ain't to brush their teeth or to wash their ass. That could not be one of their goals. Their goal is to learn what the hell is on the Urban Dictionary. And I don't know if it's like a feature on here where they give you an option of the most current words to use. I'm going to try that. Let me try this. I'm curious to know that. I might look up most recent words on the Urban Dictionary and they give me a list. Okay. And it's not the people that's using like an old term. Like I heard a brother one day he called or used the word gutter. Gutter, that's one of those older words. It's not really the men and women that's using words that existed before the Urban Dictionary existed, if that makes sense. Okay, it's gutter and grimy. You can go to the Urban Dictionary and find those terms, But both of those terms existed way before the Urban Dictionary. So it's not really those brothers and sisters. It's not someone that uses a word sometimes you can find on there neither. It's like I said, it's the repetitive, repeated, you needing to look up what they saying. So I'm there now. Let me find out if I could look up most current words. I don't know. I'm just typing something to see what'll come up. Okay, let me type new. Okay, new Urban Dictionary words. I'm just trying to see if it's some kind of Urban Dictionary words. Sorry, we couldn't find new Urban Dictionary words. I'm gonna just type new words. Okay, let me see what happens. New words. Yeah, I don't know. I don't check this thing often. Let me see. There's a home page. There's a blog maybe. I don't know. I would have to look into it further. And to be honest, y'all, I would just be honest. You could call it kind of, hey, you could call me whatever you want to, but I don't really want to learn the Urban Dictionary. What about that? Because if I try too hard to figure out the urbandictionary.com, that means I'm the Urban Dictionary narcissist. That's probably what the narcissists do. Sit they ass, male or female, on the urbandictionary.com, figuring out how to talk. So forget this. I ain't gonna look on here no more because I'm talking about the Urban Dictionary narcissist, not trying to become they ass. Where I'm researching. Let me see what the Urban Dictionary. No, let me stop because I'm trying to be somebody that has a brain that wants to maintain a brain, not be no freaking idiot. Okay, you can speak Ebonics. You can, Ebonics is not necessarily incorrect English, necessarily, because remember, it's considered a language of English, y'all. Okay? And the reason they had to make it its own language, for one, doctors and lawyers had to see the intelligence in it. They learned very quickly that somebody like me that's saying, I'm gonna get on this bike, I'm gonna do this, is not a dummy. Okay? They began to notice the other big words we're using after ama that a lot of other cultures didn't even understand. Like big words, y'all. Like, yeah, African Americans, what they call black people, using some pretty big words, y'all. We do. So that's why Ebonics had to be more considered. You understand? So, and people that speak in Ebonics or becoming professors and things like that, that's different. Speaking Ebonics is totally different than playing around on the Urban Dictionary. And like I said, I got off of it. I don't want to check out their blog, and if I did tap on it, it'll be real quick. Maybe I could tap on it and see another video. But no, I'm not the Urban Dictionary narcissist, so I don't need to be doing too much research on that website. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it at that. But yeah, you just are repeatedly looking up what the hell they saying. And you're like, wow, again? And then another thing to do as an emotional survival tip, and this is something that I'm learning as I go, stop asking them what it means. Because that can be a tactic Because I found with a narcissist, the same particular narcissist that does this, I found that in the beginning, because I didn't realize he was the Urban Dictionary narcissist, I found that I was asking him what this stuff means, he would say. This was a working man, it can be a working woman, but in the beginning, they will play like they're interested in language, and you will notice that they're talking more better, using words you could actually find in traditional dictionaries. And that's because they're hanging around you. That's the only reason they're doing that. However, once you're away from that narcissist for many, many years, at least 12 months, 2 years, they're the Urban Dictionary narcissist. And that's really who they were when they met you, but they was hiding it. So now since they're out of your life, that's what they attract. See, the Urban Dictionary narcissist and how they talk also shows you what they attract and what they are around when they're not around you. And that's the dangerous part. Is for this particular narcissist to only be really dealing with, or a lot of the time, dealing with Urban Dictionary narcissists. They're extreme. And remember, I'm not talking about somebody that's using a slang word that they need to stop using. I gave you the example in the beginning, y'all. Like that particular woman, she just needs to cut that word out of her vocabulary. She said no other word other than that bad N word. Nigga, she kept using that word. She wasn't saying any other words. She's probably somebody that you don't need to look up on the Urban Dictionary what she's saying. And it's just not a good thing at the end of the day. And you just got to notice what kind of people you dealing with. I've been around people, y'all. They've been in and out of prisons. I mean, did whole prison terms. They're in my family. And not a lot of people in my family have went to prison, but there's been a couple or a few, you could say a couple or a few, maybe jail, but they're still not the Urban Dictionary narcissist. They're highly intelligent. So this Urban Dictionary narcissist has nothing to do with somebody that's in and out of jails. It's not really somebody that didn't get their GED or high school diploma. It doesn't relate to any of that. It's just basically somebody that you got to keep looking up what they saying to you. You got to look it up, because at the end of the day, what they're speaking to you is almost like this, y'all. And this ain't on the Urban Dictionary, what I'm getting ready to say. They're speaking a devalued foreign language. Devalued. And the reason I call it that is because you need to devalue it, because it's not a legitimate language for you. Leave these people alone. That's a red flag that it might even be a narcissist. No matter how nice they act, that could be a narcissist. It's the Urban Dictionary narcissist, y'all. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please leave a comment if you like. I love y'all so much. I've been on this bike, what I think almost maybe 35 minutes. And thank you for listening. Bye.